press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class. Today we are going to deal with another new chapter, that is major tourist centers of Karnataka. And in this we will discuss about the tourist centers that are there, how they have been of a lot of importance to a lot of people in Karnataka and outside Karnataka. So you're going to study importance of these tourist centers, then you will have a description of the main tourist centers that are there and how it is of national importance and how it is of international significance that is there. And after that we are going to study the important hills, waterfalls and the historical places that are there. Now in this chapter we will go little by little and understand the basic introduction first and then move on to different hill stations, waterfalls of Karnataka, wildlife sanctuaries and historical places and places of pilgrimage that is there. Moving on, there is a Kannada proverb which is being translated into English, say like this, okay, see a country and read a book. Why is it said see a country and read a book? Because when you go around, you experience a lot. So when you are traveling around, you know their culture, you know everything that's happening to them. And with that you gain your experience and your learning of certain things. Read a book, see a country and read a book. Why emphasis on reading a book? While you read the book also you are exposed to a certain environment. Now for example, if you're reading a novel, and in that novel you have a description of a certain place. The author or the novelist may be from a certain place or a certain country, and he gives his description of that country, whereas when he is giving the description of that country, you realize the importance of that country and the features of that country. So what are you doing? Your knowledge is increasing. Your knowledge never goes in vain. So your knowledge is increasing when you see a country as well as when you read a book. That is why a lot of emphasis is done on reading and exploring. Reading and exploring will make things better for you. So see, you need not begin with reading too heavy books or books that have plenty of pages. Begin with small short stories for that matter. Even short stories give descriptions of certain things. Now if I have to suggest for your age, you can study R.K. Narayan's books. R.K. Narayan has written really nicely. His any novel for that matter has a lot of impact. Malgudi Days, The Bachelor of Arts, The English Teacher. So okay, simple stories. They are simple stories and nice and simple language. I have read them, so I know it's a very simple language. So you can simply pick out the words that are written by Narayan. So go and read his books and few other Indian writers. You start first, then you can move on to the other British and American writers that are there. Alright, now we always desire to go out, isn't it? We always want to feel or enjoy outside our own locality. That is why we plan picnics, we plan trips, we plan outings with anybody and maybe families, maybe friends, whoever it is. Why do we go there? We go for our enjoyment. We go for moving away from the local atmosphere. We go out for so many other reasons. Sometimes just to see that place. If it's a place of worship, we go to pray there. If it's a place of an historical importance, we go to see that monument, that museum or anything of historical importance. Especially with school trips, they take you to historical places because that's what you are learning, and learning has to be associated with practical knowledge. So that is why all these things are done. But we will discuss about how many things are there in Karnataka that you could really explore. Some we may not have explored yet, some we are yet to explore, some we may have. So depending on then, if we cannot, if we also have to keep in mind that we have to roam our country first, our state first, and then a country and then beyond it. Okay, we can also go beyond the country, we can have international trips else, but knowing the state better is much more easier than knowing something else, because it is our own. All right, okay. Now we have a religious celebration. Sometimes we go far off places for religious celebrations, for excitement there, okay, to see different places, to improve our health. Sometimes we travel because the local atmosphere has given us a monotonous environment. We don't want that monotony with us, so we shift it to somewhere else for relaxation, that is there. Now you are going from one place to another, that is touring, and tourist centers are major attractions of any state or any country that is there, and that's why people come. We have seen foreigners coming. When we go to their land, we become foreigners. So we go to their land, they come to our land. It's an exchange of culture and values that is there. Okay, now tourism has also become a certain form of business, because people would like to come here and there, people would like to enjoy, so it's become a part of human life as well. Then we can seek happiness, we can seek something apart from the monotonous atmosphere or monotonous routine that we have. Another way is sometimes sit for knowledge purpose. Have you seen certain foreigners come to India to study certain values? They go and stay in, they become monks and study there. They go into some practice of yoga and meditation, okay, other things that are there, because they would like to learn that ancient Indian culture that is there. We believe in Ayurveda and other things. They come and learn. There are Indians also who practice that form of a life, where they would like to implement Ayurveda with them and yoga and other things, so for their well-being. That is a major attraction that is there. So see, these things that are there, various things are becoming like major attractions to the society. All right, now Karnataka is one state that also has lot of tourist places. That's what I told you, some we have explored, some we may not have. So if you get a chance, please go out with your friends or family and then explore one of these places. Now, what we are actually known for is the natural environment that we have, greenery all around, evergreen, okay, it's evergreen. So if you go to the Sahyadri hills and other Sahyadri ranges, you have the rivers, you have the waterfalls, you have the Ghat sections. If you go to the Ghat sections, you see so much of greenery, and it's a pleasant environment, pleasant atmosphere. It's a pleasant day if you have to go through that any of the 4 Ghat sections that are there. It's a really nice environment you have around you. So we have our animals, we have sanctuaries, we have valleys, we have sandalwood, everything that is very attractive, and we have the beaches on the coastline. So if you go to the south, you have down below there, you have your beaches. There are also major tourist attractions that are there. Historical places are there, temples, churches, mosques, okay, religious places, and people come as pilgrims there for these religious centers for worship and for anything that they pray and believe in, all right. Okay. Now, Karnataka government realized that Karnataka has a lot of tourism centers, and then they established the Karnataka State Tourism Development Corporation, KSTDC, in the year 1974 to make Karnataka, certain areas of Karnataka as the tourist center and make them like tourist home, lodges for people to stay, okay, restaurants, whatever is easy for people to pick. Now when somebody comes as a tourist there, they need to have certain facilities, isn't it? Somewhere to stay, somewhere to have food, somewhere to do something, okay. So that is how they established the Karnataka State Tourism Development Corporation, all right, in 1974. Okay, after that it has attracted lot and lakhs of people to our state. So we must be proud that, see, every state has its own tourist centers. So when we belong to this state, we have to be proud for what we have and not be grumbling about what we don't have. What we have is what we have, that's it, okay. So now Hampi and Patadikal has been recognized by the UNESCO, and the Western Ghats that are there, it has been declared as the World Heritage Site, and that has made Karnataka world famous. Okay, the Western Ghats has been declared as the World Heritage Site, and that is why it has made us world famous. And UNESCO has recognized Hampi and Patadikal also. Okay, the government of India has also brought out certain policies for tourism and given a lot of opportunities and encouragement to private companies to establish themselves here, all right. Then Karnataka has also been awarded in 1996 and 1997 as they have got the award for the best tourism management here in our state. Moving further, we'll learn about certain major tourist spots that are there. Just give me a second. Okay. We'll discuss about few major tourist centers. We may not have explored everything, but what you can know from here, try to visit all these places whenever you can. Okay. So we'll go to the first one, hill stations of Karnataka. We have a lot of hills and hill ranges that are there. Hill stations are also there. Kudremukh is one in Chikmagalur district. Okay. Now see, why I am going very fast or why I am going just telling you things is because these are things which you can easily understand, or these are things that you can read for yourself and also understand. Yet I would like to brief it out for you. Okay. So Kudremukh in Chikmagalur district, that is one of the major hill stations because it has a lot of hill logs. We have discussed what are hill logs. Green forest, dense, it is very dense, it's a lot of trees that are there. Coffee estates are there, waterfall is there. That is why it makes it a beautiful place to look. Then in Chikmagalur district, we have the Nandi Hill station. Now see, certain things are repetitive in your textbook, so you can club them and study. When we studied physiographic divisions of Karnataka, we have discussed certain hills and hill stations there. So club them here in this lesson. Now this Nandi Hill is about 1492 meters above the sea level, and that's giving it a pleasant environment, a pleasant climate that is there. Why it's attracting a lot of tourists? Because it's lot close to Bangalore, and because it's lot close to Bangalore, people are coming to this place, and that's why tourists are there. They have staying facilities there, lodging and boarding facilities are also there. Then now Gandhiji had been one of the visitors there, and in his memory he had stayed there for his improvement of health. So in his memory Gandhi Bhavan has been constructed there in that place. Alright, similarly there are other places, Kemmangundi, the Agumbe sunset spot, BR Hills, Devarayana Durga, the Jogi Hills of Chitradurga district, Kodachadri, okay, Himavada Gopal Swami Hills. All these are also beautiful. You will have to climb a lot for all this. People go on trekking, isn't it? Lot to reach that last point there. It's very tiring, but the view there on the top is something that you will never get again. Okay, such a pleasant, you will feel like you're on cloud 9, and that formation of clouds there, the night view that is there, the early morning view, everything is very pleasant in these places. Okay, then there are also rocky places in rocky hill logs that are there in Ramnagar, Madhugiri. Then the Monolithic Hill, we discussed about the Monolithic Hill, one single rock that is there. Then the rock formations in Yana, Merkara, okay. These places attract because there are resorts also there. People can stay, people can enjoy in that atmosphere itself. So that is attracting a lot of people. And some places close to Bangalore, so it is attracting because Bangalore, there are a lot of people, and other borders that are connecting to Bangalore also attract tourists into our state. Okay, moving on to the waterfalls of Karnataka. We have abundance of water and we must be happy about it. Not about the sea water, because sea water cannot be used, it's salty. With the other forms of other water bodies that are there, we have abundance of it. Still, that is why it's making us pleasant everywhere. We have a lot of waterfalls, we have rivers, we have lakes, we have ponds. we have oceans, we have seas, okay, that is there. Now this Malnad region that is there, now we have learnt the divisions that are there, coastal, Malnad and the Maidan region. So this Malnad region in between Karnataka, between the coastal and the coastal area has a lot of salty water because of the beaches that are there, sea that is there. The Malnad region that's between the Maidan and the coastal region has a lot of waterfalls that is there, and in the rainy season it's a very pleasant environment because the force of water is more and a lot of waterfall falling away from top, and it's nice to see but also very dangerous in certain places. Now Uttar Kannada has a large number of waterfalls, okay, when you go above Karwar and that side, okay, Karwar, Honnavar, that side, waterfalls. Now the highest waterfall in the country is Jog Falls, and which is in Shimoga. So the highest waterfall in the country is in our state, so we can also be proud of that Jog Falls is in our state in Shimoga. Now the Sharavati falls from a height of 293 meters in 4 streams, okay, 4 different streams the Sharavati is falling down. Now the 4 streams that are falling down from the Sharavati are named as Raja, Rani, Roarer and Rocket. Raja, Rani, Roarer and Rocket. Now in the rainy season, because it's raining, the force of water is more, the scene of that waterfall is an unforgettable memory, or it is a pleasant beauty to see. It's something that takes you on cloud 9 is what I said. That takes you away from the other distractions that you have. That is such a beautiful thing or a scene to see. Okay, the Shivana Samudra, the Kaveri river at Shivana Samudra in Mandya district also has 2 forms of twin rivers that are, twin waterfalls that are falling, and they are named as Gagana Chukki and Bara Chukki. See, to remember these names, you'll have to read your textbook 1 or 2 times, because certain names, see, you may have gone to these places, it's easy for you to remember. Some may have not gone, like me, I have not gone to these places. So it is just at the moment you cannot remember the names, Gagana Chukki and Bara Chukki. Then there is the Abe Falls that is there, Kemangundi Hill Station, and there in the Kemangundi Hill Station there are Hebbe Falls. Okay. After that we have the Kalatgiri Falls, Unchali Falls. Now all this we have discussed in the lesson Karnataka, and that's why I am going very fast, because you have seen the pictures there. So go back and look at that video if you have not seen them. Look back at that video and come here, because all these pictures are placed there. Okay, so we are moving fast in this chapter. Now this Unchali Falls is called as Lousington in Uttar Kannada district, and then Gokak Falls in Belgavi. Gokak is also a major form from the river Ghataprabha, and it is famous, called as the Niagara of Karnataka. You may underline that. Magod Falls is also one of the famous waterfalls. Now the next one is the wildlife sanctuaries of Karnataka. Because we have a lot of dense forest that is there, a lot of trees that is there, it protects our, the government is taking all steps to protect the forest and the wildlife, and that is why it has established a lot of wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries, national parks, tiger projects and biosphere reserve areas. We have 5 national parks in Karnataka: the Rajiv Gandhi National Park in Nagarhole, Bandipur, Bangirkatta, Kudremukh and Anshi National Park. Okay. Now we have 18 wildlife sanctuaries to protect these to protect wildlife. We have natural habitat and 18 wildlife sanctuaries that are there. They have been identified as Bandipur, Muttodi, Nagarhole, Dandeli, Badra and Ranganatittu, Kokkarebelur, Mandagadde, Gudavi are few of the main sanctuaries that are there. Okay, wildlife sanctuaries and bird sanctuaries that are there. Now Karnataka has also beaches in the coastline. Famous is the Om beach of Gokarna, Ullal, Murdeshwara, Maravante, Malpe. Okay, these beaches attract a lot of tourists that are there. If you visit it in the seasons, okay, especially November to December, April and May, you have a lot of people coming there, lot of crowd that is there on the beach side. Then there is an island, St. Mary's Island near Udupi. This also has a special pillar or a type of rock that has formed, and that is very interesting to see. So there is Netrani Island in Murdeshwar, Devgad and Kurumagad Islands in Karwar is also famous. So islands and beaches are also present. Places of historical importance. Now this is mostly done as an historical trip. We had it in school. We had been taken to Hampi, Belur, Halebeedu, Badami. We had been taken there, and it is a nice place to see. That is because of when I was in 10th standard, they had taken us historical tour or educational trip. That is what they call it. Okay, educational trip. Historical places that are there is the Kadambas, Hoysalas. These rulers who were there, earlier rulers of Karnataka, Kadambas, Hoysalas, Chalukyas, and the kings of Vijayanagara Empire have left all these things for us to see. Okay, have left all these beautiful things that are there, and that is why we have made it today as the tourist centers that are there. Now then, various sculptures are there. Have you seen the temples of that time and the temples built now? There is a lot of difference in the sculpting art that is there, and all cannot be a sculptor. Nobody can easily get that art of sculpting, okay, or being a sculptor. Those statues that are formed have so much in detail that you must sit and wonder for yourself how that sculptor or that artist really did it. The eyes are very fine, okay, their skin also feels like so fine. Everything, maybe the ornaments that are there, their dressing, okay, everything that is there is perfectly done. So look at the temples now, far more different. Now we have only pillars and tiles and some 4 walls that are there. But that kind of a temple, we don't find it now. They have done it at that easily, and they have done it so nicely. So it is a pleasant thing to see. They have left it for us and we must preserve it. So Hampi, Belur, Halebeed, Somantpur, Badami, Patadikal, Aihole, Gol Gumbas of Vijaypura. Gol Gumbas is also a nice place to see. Lakundi, okay, Banavasi, Basaralu, Velligave, Mysore, Srirangapatnam. Now this Banavasi, Basaralu, I'm not sure where these places are, but Patadakal, Badami, Aihole, Gol Gumbas, okay, Belur, Halebeed, Hampi, all these places are pleasant to see. Now we have pilgrim centers also where people come from. Pilgrims, what are pilgrims? People who are traveling from another place for a purpose that is there. So Dharmasthala that is there, okay, Dharmasthala, Udupi, Sringeri, Horanadu, Kollur, okay, Gokarna, Ullavi, Sirsi, Shravana Belagula, then Kudala Sangama, Melukote, Adi Chunchandgiri, Karkala, Devargudda, okay, Mailara Kshetra, Bande Nawaz Dargah of Kalburgi, then Ibrahim Roza of Vijaypura, Malik Rahan Dargah of Sira, St. Philomena Church in Mysore, Rosario Cathedral in Mangalore. Okay, all these places are places of worship, and people come as pilgrims there. Okay, so that is places of pilgrim. Then the forts of Karnataka, we have a lot of historical and strong forts that are there that have also attracted tourists. Okay, now Fort of Bidar, Fort of Vijaypura, Kalburgi. Now these forts were built very long ago for their protection that was there, but it's being preserved, and that is why we take it as a tourist center now. Okay, Hampi, Keladi, Chitradurga, Madhugiri, Nandi Hills, Pavada Gadda, okay, Manjrabad, Unchangiri Durga, Kavala Durga, okay, Srirangapatnam, and the rest of them. Okay, so Basavraj Durga, Devgad, Kumara Gadda, okay, Bahadurga Gadda, so many complicated names, but these are present in our own state. Okay. So then we have a lot of gardens and places for relaxation also, and that has also added to the beauty and greatness of our state. So capital city of Bengaluru has been attracting a lot of tourists, a lot of people around us. It has wonderful buildings. The Vidhana Saudha is there, the Lal Bagh and the Cubbon Park, and that is why it's called as the Garden City. Now at least once we all have visited Bangalore. So Bangalore gives you a different feeling because of these places, if you visit these places. But now I'm not telling you this sophisticated and the complicated city that is there, but apart from that, all these places that are there. Now Karnataka's largest city and one of the mega cities of the country, Bengaluru. Then Mysore is called as a city of palaces. Mysore Palace is also a wonderful thing to see. During the time of Dasara, it is still more beautiful. But otherwise, if you have to see the Mysore Palace, what is there inside the Mysore Palace is also pleasant and nice. We had gone there when I was in school, and they had taken us. My teachers had taken me there. So all of us, all our classmates together, and everything that is placed inside the palace is also nice. Some things they don't allow you to touch or go near to, but the throne that is there, the ornaments that are there, all are displayed. The paintings, everything is displayed there. It's such a beautiful, pleasant and an atmosphere to see. All right, that is what a lot of people visit during Dasara. This time Dasara was not possible, but the next year we hope so. We can have a wonderful Dasara in Mysore. Mysore, because of its culture, it keeps its heritage during Dasara, and that is why it looks beautiful like that. Then the Brindavan, the K.R. Sagar Dam, the Chamundi Hills also are major tourist attractions in Mysore. Okay, so we finished the lesson. Very simple. Now, see, certain things we have discussed in the previous chapters also in your previous part. This is the second part of your textbook. So it's a continuation. When it's a continuation, you will have to connect that thing to this. So go back and look at that video on not the whole lesson as such, but the PPT that is done with pictures. Okay, so when you have the pictures in mind and after that you read this lesson, it will be easy for you. Alright, we have finished this lesson. In the next class, we will come up with another lesson that is there. This textbook, this part of your textbook is also interesting and easy. The first one is also easy, the second one is also easy, just as how you take and read it. Okay. Thank you very much, students, for listening.